You're now tuned into Hot Topics with Lady Charmaine, and I'm your girl, Lady Charmaine. And we have a great show for you tonight. Tonight, we have an all-female panel. Now, last week, you guys saw all the males. They was chiming in, talking their little talk. But tonight, we got the ladies in the studio. And guess what? They're going to give their side of all the hot topics, but then we got something special. We got a twist happening tomorrow night. Tomorrow night, we have the men. They're going to be back in the studio for another all-male panel, and they're going to be commenting on what they hear tonight from the ladies. So don't forget to tune in tomorrow night because it's going to be like real juicy. And we're going to introduce you to the ladies that are in the studio coming up right after this.
Yeah. All right, now let's get it. Let's go. Lady Charmaine is in the house, so you know we're gonna have a good time. You can relax your mind. Everything is gonna be alright. With Lady Charmaine live. Lady Charmaine live. Lady Charmaine live. All right, now.
And we are back. And again, this is Hot Topics with Lady Charmaine. And right now, I want you guys to take a moment to be able to like and share this page. Share with everybody because it's going to be good. And we want you to chime in tonight. We want to hear from you. The number is 916-226-9226. Men and women, call in if you agree. If you don't agree, if you got a comment, well, we want to hear from you tonight. So this is your opportunity to be able to call in. And tonight, I want to introduce you to the ladies that's joining me in the studio. We got my girl, Miss Marie Hutcheson. How you doing, Miss Marie?
I'm here. Let's do this.
Also, my girl, Miss Stasia Mobbs.
Hello.
Miss Bettye Calloway.
Hey.
And also the lovely Miss Jennifer Powers.
Yes.
How you doing?
Hello. Just so pretty.
And all of you ladies have been on my show in one way or the other. Miss Bettye, she's been on my TV show. Stacey's been on my TV show too. She's been on Lady Charmaine and Girlfriends. Also, Miss Jennifer, she's also been on the show as well.
Yeah.
She came on with her girlfriends.
Yeah, best friends.
There you go, with best friends.
That's right. That was a good show.
Yeah, so she came on with Best Friends as well. And we're going to be talking about some good stuff tonight. And again, we want everybody to be able to call in, but don't call in right now because the show really ain't started like that. What you calling in for? It ain't started yet.
We ain't said nothing. We ain't even said nothing.
That's right. Hold on. We ain't said nothing, so why you calling in? We just not starting. But we about to get this show on the road in just a second. And so what we want you guys to do is be able to call in once we get these topics on and popping. In just a moment, though. In just a moment. We got some trigger finger happy people. I know y'all want to chime in,
Right.
but just give us a second to get into the show. But anyway, we're going to be talking about some good stuff tonight. And we, like I said, we want everybody to chime in, men and women and your teenage kids, whatever, if they watching. But please do share this show because hopefully we say something tonight that's going to spark something in somebody's mind. You never know because there's always two sides to every story. So like I said, tonight we're going to hear from the women. Tomorrow night, we're going to be hearing from the men dealing with some of these same topics. And we're going to be addressing a topic that was on the show last week because I want to hear what the ladies have to say in regards to one of these topics. So right now, we was talking about something right before the show started. And then somebody said, you need to move this topic up to number one. So we move this topic up to number one. And here's the topic. Okay, here's a scenario. Okay, you've been chatting with the man for a few weeks and you're pretty interested and the feeling is mutual. And you guys have plans for a first date. Okay, and you're super excited. And he has one request of you. And that's for you not to wear a weave or wig or makeup on your first date. Are you offended? Do you still go? Are you still interested? How do you respond to that particular request, ladies?
Ooh, child.
Who's going first?
Station.
I personally would not be offended because I don't wear weave and I don't wear makeup. I would definitely ask why he's asking for a guy to request something like that. You know, maybe he's been hurt in the past or let down. But no, I personally wouldn't be offended.
You wouldn't be offended?
I wouldn't.
Okay.
She got it going on.
Okay. Hi, you're live on Hot Topics with Lady Charmaine. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Hi, my name is Wilhelmina, and I'm calling from Los Angeles.
Hi, Wilhelmina. How are you?
Hi.
I'm good. How are you?
Good. So what's your comment?
I had a question.
Okay.
So I'm on a spiritual journey right now, and I wanted to know, how is it when you finally get in touch with, when you finally get saved? Like, how is it, and how did you know when that happened?
Okay, you're on a spiritual journey and you want to know how you got saved? Okay, repeat the question.
I want to know, how do you know if you're saved? Like, there's so many times when people say that, they go to church and then they finally feel like they got saved, and then all of a sudden, you kind of like fall off a little bit, then you don't go to church anymore. So how do you know when you finally got saved?
Okay, okay. Although this is a sidebar from the first question that we actually put on the table, but the Bible says in Romans 10:9 that if you confess with your mouth the Lord Jesus.
I'm so sorry.
What? Pardon me? Okay.
Go. Keep that sentence prayer going.
Yeah.
Just keep it going.
I don't know what happened to her, but I was going to help her out.
Keep it going. Finish. Just
Anybody
finish
know
that.
Wilhelmina? Who know Wilhelmina?
I don't know Wilhelmina, but
No,
finish
I
that
know
point.
Wilhelmina.
Okay, I was gonna try to help her out.
No, I think you should help her out, and you should just say what you're about to
Finish
say.
it.
Actually, that's my middle son's girlfriend.
Oh, okay.
So she probably was just asking, now that she's on a spiritual path,
Awesome,
how
okay.
can I maybe she misheard the first question, because we was on the first question, but that's a good one.
Okay, Wilhelmina. Okay, well, the Bible says in Romans 10:9 that if you confess with your mouth the Lord Jesus and believe in your heart that God raised him from the dead, you shall be saved. And salvation is by faith. So that's the first step. So if you confess with your mouth and you believed in your heart that God raised Jesus from the dead. Now, salvation is by faith. It's not a feeling. So sometimes people say, well, I don't feel saved today. I kind of fell off. And we're all going to make mistakes in our walk. And that's the thing. You have to fall down and you get back up.
Yeah.
But your faith in Christ still stands.
That's right.
Hi, Hot Topics with Lady Charmaine. Is this Wilhelmina?
No, it's not. How you doing?
Hi, how are you? So, okay, give me 1 second because I was talking to Miss Wilhelmina. We was talking about faith in Christ Jesus.
Okay.
So Miss Wilhelmina, you gonna get my phone number from somebody that's in here that know you, and we gonna talk about
That's
this.
right.
Okay?
Yeah.
We're gonna continue this
Get it
conversation.
right.
Okay, so hey, sir, what's your name? Where you calling from?
My name is Aki Davis, and I'm calling from Houston, Texas.
Hi. Hey, what's your comment?
Well, I think the comment about the guy on the first date, I think he's a control freak, and if he met her like that, and he's already having those kind of demands, I don't think that's somebody they should pursue or even go out with.
Ah, spoken from a man.
From a man.
Oh, that's what I'm talking
Interesting.
about.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what's your name again, sir?
It's Aki.
Hey, Aki,
David.
thank you. Thank you.
Hi, Aki. That's what I'm talking about, Aki.
Look,
That's
she
right.
got you.
Okay.
You hear, right?
Thank you, Aki, for calling in. I appreciate it.
All right, you ladies have a good night.
You too.
You
Bye
too.
bye. No, and I think that's a great point. If you met her like that, now if you met her with her makeup on and her hair was whipped, don't try to ask her to remove her
Yeah.
makeup and her hair to try to prove some type of point because you want to see what she looks like. Let her do that on her own time,
Right.
and she'll reveal who she is to you. I think that's how I feel. So
Right.
yes, I would be offended. I probably wouldn't be interested in him anymore. Now,
Right.
Miss Betty.
I feel the same way. I remember a long time ago, I went out and the first date and the second date, I took everything, the hair, I had my own hair and no makeup because I wanted him to just see me. This is the way my natural self, but I'm probably not going to wear that like that again because I like wigs and I like weaves and I like all that stuff. But I don't want him to ask me not to do it, because like the young man said, that's a sign of control. He's
Right.
already telling me how he wants me to dress or act. No, I don't want to do that. I wouldn't be interested any longer.
Now, do you feel that a man have the right to even ask you that question? Men, do you feel you have the right to ask a woman to remove her hair and makeup because you feel that she should be real on your first date? I want to hear that from a man. What do you think, Jennifer?
I think that's kind of shallow to me. I think that's very shallow. In the past, I didn't used to wear makeup, and I mean, I did wear makeup and things like that. But since I've been saved, that's a part of our religion. So we can't wear a dress. I mean, we have to wear skirts, and I'm apostolic Pentecostal. But to me, still on that, I love my weaves. I love my wigs, and to me, that's a part of me. So that means that you're taking something away that's a part of me. So if I strip myself from all that and then I go on a date with you, then I'm not being myself.
Right.
So then you don't get the full Jennifer. So you have
That's interesting.
to be okay and happy for what you see. I'm not going to down myself or take hair down or take things away that's a part of me.
Okay.
I think the guy should, like, if he's looking for a natural chick or, you know, a certain type, then that's probably where, you know what I'm saying? That's the market that he should be going for. Like, if you meet a girl and she's already looking a certain way, she already has her hair and makeup done, obviously that's what she feels comfortable doing for herself.
Right.
Yeah, I wouldn't call it controlling, though, but it's a little creepy to me to where he's like, can you take that off? Can you take that
Like,
off?
what kind of point are you trying to
It's
make?
like, what are you looking for?
Yeah, what are you trying to say? And it's like, you know, he obviously comes from the group of those guys that's out there that's doing that, that's saying that. There's a group of them. They out there all together trying to get us to take our weaves and eyelashes off. But, you know, and then be surprised when they get home, be like, put it back on. But well, for me, I'm not a weave wearer, as y'all can see, and I don't really wear the makeup except for this right here. That's about as far as I go. And if someone to ask me to take my head wrap off, I would have a problem. I'm not taking that off for you.
That's a part of
It's part of who I am. And if you roll up on me with the head wrap on, you're going to roll up on me on a date with the head wrap on.
Hi, you're live with Hot Topics with Lady Charmaine. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
What's up?
Here we go. What's up, D?
Hey, Derek. The hair extraordinaire. This is the hair hustler.
Conversation. First of all, I want to say y'all doing amazing, and y'all all look beautiful. We sitting here watching you at the salon, so
Hey, ladies at the salon. How y'all?
Thank you. So, well, thank you, Derek.
Okay, well, let me get my bits in. As a man, you know, if I'm sitting up dating you, and you presented yourself with makeup or weave, you know, however you presented yourself, and it attracted me to you, to draw me to, like, have a conversation with you, why on earth in the world would I ask you to strip that down? Why would I want you to start stripping everything down to expose your raw self to me in a way that you don't really want or you're not ready yet?
Right.
That'll come eventually, but I'm not going to ask you to do that because it's rude, it's obnoxious, and I don't really want to see it. I really don't want to see it because it's not how you presented yourself to me.
It's controlling.
A woman that presented herself like that normally is going to keep that up constantly. She loves getting her hair done. She loves her nails. She loves the dress. So the whole point of the matter is I don't have to worry about asking her to strip all of that down because she loves to present herself that way. And if I'm constantly saying, oh, baby, you look good. I love how your hair looks. I love this. Then why on earth would she even do that? You know, take her weave off. That's not what she wants to do. So any man that's asking a woman to strip them down for selfish perks, like it's going to do something for them, I think that's just selfish, and that says a lot about the man, and it's all about control when he's doing that.
All right. That's spoken from a man. Thank you so much, Derek. Now, y'all, Derek's going to be on the show tomorrow night, so I got to hear what he got to say tomorrow night.
I'm going to have to call in.
Thank you,
But
Derek.
you know what?
Bye-bye.
Also, too, eventually, depending on how you're dealing with that and how long you deal with her, you're going to see her like that at some point.
Eventually,
Right.
anyway.
For sure.
Yeah.
Right? So you're going to get to see all that.
Look,
Right.
absolutely. Okay, now here's here's another question, which I thought was kind of funny. Okay. Hi, you're live with Hot Topics with Lady Charmaine. What's your name and where are you calling from?
This is Keith Powers. I'm calling from LA.
Hey, how are you?
What's What's up?
Should I say who he is?
Yeah.
Okay, now y'all, this is Keith
Of
Powers calling
course.
in. Y'all know him as Ronnie DeVoe from the Do It Justice story, and also some other stuff. And
Hey,
when it was a Pretty Little Liars and some other things, y'all. Congratulations, Keith, on all
He
your
like, I'm
success.
just
We
trying to
love
call
you.
in. Can I just call in?
Yeah, and you know my
y'all
daughters
too.
love him, so you know I got to bring that up all the time. You got a question, comment, concern?
I just wanted to call and just tell my mama that I love her.
Oh,
Oh, that's so sweet.
I'm gonna hug her for you.
And for those who don't know, Miss Jennifer Powers is the mother of Mr. Keith
Oh,
Powers.
that's so sweet.
Well, you should answer the question.
Yeah, don't make me cry. You know?
What was the question? I'm sorry.
Okay.
I'm in
Oh,
because I called in
goodness.
a little bit late because I'm studying.
Oh, you study. Okay, I'm not mad. Okay, now here's the question. Okay, you go on you're about to go on a first date with a young lady. You guys are both attracted to one another, but you have one request for her. Would you ask her to not wear weave or wig or makeup on your first date?
Would I ask her not to wear it?
Correct.
I mean, that's not something I don't think I would ask because a woman. I mean, whatever makes her feel comfortable. I'm not gonna say don't wear it. A guy who does that is probably controlling. But I would hope.
Controlling factor.
I would
See,
hope.
we back
I
to
would
that
hope
control.
without makeup and stuff. That naturally I still find her attractive. But I mean, at the end of the day, I just want the person I'm, first date. I want the woman to feel just comfortable.
All right.
Very good.
So you raised some good sons.
Good man. Good man.
That's
Y'all,
a good question.
And he got a beautiful girlfriend, y'all, Miss Ryan Destiny. She's
know.
in the TV show Star. So I ain't mad now.
He just truly represented, held down the family
Well,
name.
Keith, thank you so much for
Thank
coming
you,
on the
Keith.
show. You just such a precious young man. And I got a question for your mama later on, how she raised such a handsome young man, and what she tell y'all about these ladies out here. That's going to be coming up. You can call in on that show, too. But thank you, Keith,
Why
for
he
calling
laughing?
in.
Thank you.
He said, ha ha.
Ha ha.
Have a good one. Love you, Mom.
Love you too,
Bye-bye.
Just love
That's
in
so
the room.
sweet.
I want to know the secrets.
Yeah.
But he has a beautiful girlfriend, though.
Yes, he does.
Oh, she's just
That's
gorgeous.
what's up.
Okay, so here's another question for you, lady. Now, this was on the men's show last week, and it was a
Okay.
question. Ladies, if a man takes you out on an expensive date, does that make you feel like you have to, in return, give him sex? Or should you even be made to feel that way in exchange for a nice dinner out?
Oh no! No.
Oh, no. No, sir. Oh, no, sir.
No.
Now,
Somebody even ask a
No.
question like that. Why would they even expect
Right.
a
No.
question like that? People dating now from people dating back in the days is totally different.
Totally different,
Men
right.
used to want to wine and dine women and make them happy and enjoy themselves. Now there's stipulations.
And women won't let them.
Right.
But when, I was going to say some of that is on the women too.
For sure.
You know, that they do too much.
I'm
too
all
soon.
about old school.
And
I am too.
once you get him used to it, we complain about, well, he won't do this or that. But at the same time, women now, they just give. They give the man
they don't
everything.
they don't
so
make him
men
work
don't,
for
don't
anything.
need to do anything.
Piggybacking on that,
know?
with the question, piggybacking on what you're saying as far as the question, I think it's the energy that comes forth before the date to know if that's something that's going to be required after the dinner. Because
Yeah.
as you're communicating, that energy is going to come across. So if you're talking and you're kicking out that energy, like, yeah, you know what I'm saying, we can go. Yeah. if you putting it out there before the
Right.
dinner, then it's going to leave him to think, okay, well, shoot.
Like, she with it.
The dinner really going to loosen her up. Netflix chill, we're going to do all that. You know, so I think
Yeah.
the energy before that actual official date may have a lot to do with that coming to play on the table once that happens, my opinion.
but what if the energy isn't there and he just want to just take you out? Can a man just take a woman out on a date, treat her very nice, like she should be treated like a queen? I mean, the
yes,
white linen, just because she's
Absolutely.
special.
Of course.
Absolutely.
Should there always have to
Absolutely.
be something required because he took you out? Does
Right.
it have to be the sex side of the menu?
Right.
Like you order this side of the menu, you know what's happening
what
tonight.
time it is.
Right.
You know what? Women are making it so easy for men nowadays.
Yeah.
I mean, they're just doing any and everything.
Right.
So the women that want a relationship or a romantic relationship or things like that. We can't get things like that because the women out there is just doing any and everything.
That's true.
And I believe that. Because someone on the show last week, we're not saying no names, but that's how they felt. They felt if they treat you right and take you on an expensive date, that is what's to be expected. Now, this is my question, though, for the men. If you do think that way, how would you feel if a man thought that way about your daughter?
Oh, my goodness.
Hi, you're live on Hot Topics with Lady Charmaine. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Sacramento, California.
Hello, what's your name?
Raymond White.
Hello, Mr. Hey, Raymond White. And what's your comment?
What's bracket? You know what I'm saying?
He just hung up. What's cracking? You know, he hung up. Everybody hanging up tonight. But if you guys want to chime in on the conversation, give us a call, 916-226-9226.
Wow.
Should a woman be made to feel that she has to have sex with you because you took her out on an expensive date?
Well, she shouldn't be made to feel like that, but we're talking about a whole different type of generation of people right now.
Yes,
That's true.
So now the women are coming and talking about, am
true.
I going to get me some after the date?
Facts. That's
They're
true.
What we
expecting
doing?
that.
Am I
That's
going?
true.
Am I going to get it? You know, so we're dealing with a whole different kind of people right now because people aren't dating for the old school reasons like we talk about.
Exactly.
People
No
aren't
courting.
aren't courting anymore because they have ulterior motives, whatever that may be. Selfish tendencies, whatever those are, that are putting them into situations, and just like we always talk about the side chicks, they have their places, and because that factor is real, old school belief in love,
It's out the window.
it's not. I don't think it's out the window. You know what I'm saying? But
it's sitting on the window sill.
It's
The window is open.
It's contemplating
The window
jumping.
is open.
It's contemplating.
Yeah.
We got to talk it down. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But it's
They're
just
making it too easy.
Yeah,
for
they're
them.
making it very easy. But then at the same time,
What happened to opening the door, taking
simple
them to the
things
movies?
like
All
that,
of
right?
those things.
But that attitude from this generation has just really kind of overcome and taken it away, hasn't it? So it's like, I mean, I get a door open for me. I don't know if it's because I look like I'm elderly. No, I'm just playing. But what I'm saying is it is a lost thing. You're right. It is a lost thing. And then when you do it, the men have stories of helping women open the door and getting, why you open the door for me?
That is so true.
What's wrong with you?
yeah.
And that is funny because see, now this is a question for Miss Jennifer, and Jennifer has some successful sons, right, in college and got a great career. How did you teach your sons? What did you say? Did you teach them how to open up the door? Because your sons are in their 20s and they're still young. Yeah. When did you start that? Do they continue that? Because how do you, in this day and age, raise respectful young men? Because you see a lot of men out there, they don't know anything about opening up a door. I seen a young lady open up a door for her boyfriend, and he went up under her arm and walked in before her. I just stood there and I couldn't believe it.
Well, I think for even my boys, actually, they're both in relationships, and I think for me, I just raised them to be men, and the women that they come across, for them to have substance. And because a lot of women and a lot of girls don't have substance.
Right.
That's true.
And if, right now, like I said, they are doing any and everything. And I think when it comes to my boys, I let them know, like, you don't treat somebody how you don't want to be treated. Period.
Right.
And I know for me, I can honestly say, not to say that they're perfect or anything like that, because, you're learning and you're growing and things like that. But with them, it's just knowing who you are as a man, and just knowing how to treat their women. Little Keith teases me all. He teases me all the time, and he really has a serious black mother.
Right.
That's good. We need those today.
I mean, I think it's important to teach your sons how to cook, clean, and take care of themselves, so they don't have to depend on that from the little crazy ones.
It's so
For
true.
sure.
Hi, you're live with Hot Topics with Lady Charmaine. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
My name's Michael McElvain.
Hello, Michael McElvain. How are you? How are you?
How you doing?
Good. What's your comment?
I'm wonderful. How are you?
I am good, thank you.
My comment is you're talking about guys that take women out and expect something.
Yes.
I think that's a generational question.
Okay.
Because I think when you're dealing with a mature man, if this man is truly mature and seasoned, he's going to take a lady out, period. And there was another statement y'all made about makeup or something crazy. That's another generational thing.
Okay.
You know, because ultimately, as a seasoned professional, that's what I mean, because I'm 55 now.
Okay.
So as a person that's been around and seen some things, you know, you love a woman for who she is.
Right.
Who cares about the makeup? You know what I mean?
Right.
Generationally, people might say some stupid stuff like, okay, look, don't wear the makeup when you come over here because I'm not smart enough to realize that you're beautiful and before me and blah, blah, blah. You know what I'm saying? And the sex for dinner stuff, that's definitely some young childish crap. You know, because real men just don't get out like that. You know, we treat queens like queens. Ain't that right, Dr. Hutcheson? I just want to say that. And that's it.
Well, that is good to know. Thank you so much for calling in. Thank you for your comment.
Who is that, Dr. Hutcheson?
Bye-bye.
You know. Okay, where we going? What we gonna do? What we gonna do with that? What y'all want to know?
Yeah, I want to know what you're going to do with that, though.
I want to know who that.
Well, that's Michael McIlvain.
Okay. So that's who that is. Okay, lady. Now, anybody out there, if you've seen the movie and Nobody's Fool. So I know some in here have seen the movie. Some haven't. If you've seen the movie Nobody's Fool, I'm going to give you a little synopsis. Actress Tika Sumpter, her character has a list of what she wants in a man. And there is a man who has a coffee shop. And he's flirting with her, and he actually owns the coffee shop. So, you know, so she was flirting back a little bit. But then she finds out that he actually had been to prison. And so it caused her not to really like him anymore because he had been to prison. My question is, we as women, do we reserve the right to have high standards, or should we lower our standards for a potential mate? Or do we think we're lowering our standards? Or basically, do you think we might be missing out on a good man because now he's changed his life around? He owns a coffee shop. Should we hold those things against him because he has a felony, maybe from some type of assault, weapons assault, maybe even murder? Do you still believe that people can turn their life around?
Yes, I actually would, but there would be stipulations with that. He would definitely have to give his life to God, and not only just saying it, but showing it, you know, because I believe everybody deserves a second chance. Like, I don't have a problem with that, but there's nothing wrong women that does have a problem with that. But for me personally, I don't have a problem with that. Knowing that I know that they're giving themselves to God and they're working and they're showing, and not just saying, but showing in their walk. I don't have a problem with that.
Okay, Miss Betty.
I may not particularly have a problem with it. You know, like anything else, you need to find out. You know, you need to spend some time and find out. You don't know what the person has been in prison for. I've known people that have been in prison. They're wonderful people. So, you know, that may not hinder me, but at the same time, you made one statement and you said lower your standards. Now on there, no, I don't believe that we should lower our standards, but you may not feel like, you know, dating a man that's been in prison is lowering your standards if he's a good man and he made a mistake and, you know, he's been, you know, he's changed. And like Jennifer said, God can change anyone if you want to be changed, you know.
Okay, Marie?
Well, I feel like this. I think it's all screwed up because nobody takes their time to do anything anyway, especially when it comes to dating. We always too quick to jump into stuff. So I don't think there's anything wrong with dating somebody who has been incarcerated, but I think you need to do your homework. I think you need to date properly. You need to be wise. You need to use wisdom. You need to be smart about what you're doing. And that's what's not happening now, in my opinion. People are just so quick to make judgment. People are quick to jump in relationships and not take time to find out how he treat his mama, if he got kids, how he treating them, what them baby mamas doing, financially, what is he doing? He got holes in the bottom of his shoes. What is he doing? You know what I'm saying? It's important that you take a minute to find that out. You would want to know before you step into something that's going to affect your life so bad. You know what I'm saying? So no, it's not. And like you said, lower standards. it's okay to have your little list and things like that. That will change, especially if you're growing as a woman. That list will change. You know what I'm saying?
Can he just see?
You know what I'm saying? Right. You feel me? Is he breathing? You know. And then a lot of women chose to date younger or older because of these different decisions or whatever they got going on with themselves. But in my opinion, I think we need to do A, B, C, D instead of D, Z, F, Q, and then Z.
Yeah.
Stasia.
I absolutely think we should all have standards as men and women. Would I date a felon? It depends. You know, I can't really say what I would and would not do because I'm not in the dating world anymore.
You are not.
But I have a lot of felons in my family and they turned out pretty decent.
Okay.
But I had, you know, when I was dating, I did have a list. I really did. And there were things on my list that most people would have, that is crazy. You're never going to find that. But number one on my list was he has to be taller than me when I have heels on because I'm 5'10".
I don't feel so bad.
I'm
I don't feel so bad for
5'10".
that being on my list then.
I'm 5'10" with flats on, and I got tired of towering over my boyfriends or being the same exact height, couldn't wear what I wanted to wear, or whatever.
You better preach.
And God gave me the desires of my heart.
Amen.
Lady Charmaine, I wanted to tackle on that. Me and a young lady, we both had a list, right? This was like probably 5 years ago. We had a list. My list probably had like 10 things on it. I'm just be real. Her list had like 50 things. Like by 30, he had to have like $5,000 in the bank. He had to have this. He had to learn how to make sure we go on trips. It was just so long. And I was looking at her like, are you serious? But the man that she married, he don't have nothing on that list. But they love each other, and it's all good. But like you said, as you get older, that list it shrinks.
You know what? And it's so true because I had a list.
Right.
I had a list of some things. I was like, it was my absolute knots, and they was on that list. You know, and all I got, I can go all into it. Baby mama drama show was on the list not to have, and got all that.
All that. Every piece. All the pieces.
So there's going to be some give and takes. You can have a list, but sometimes you're going to have to ball that list up and throw that thing out the window.
Yeah.
You know, if it's somebody that you feel that, you know, you didn't fall in love with.
Right.
But here's a question. It was inspired by a true situation off a reality show. And I wanted to ask you guys this question. If a man has a family, wife, kids, and knowingly commits a crime that he knows, if caught, could land him in jail, especially if he's done this crime before, would the mother of the children be wrong if she chose not to take her children to the jail or prison to see their father? And especially if it requires traveling and her taking off work to take these kids to see him. Would she be in the wrong? Ladies?
I don't think so. I don't think she'd be wrong for not taking them to see him. He did it before. He knew better than to do it again, and he knew the consequences of it. So I don't know why I would put myself through, like you said, traveling and going out of town, taking off work, taking kids out of school. No, I wouldn't do it. I don't think I'd be wrong for that.
I agree. That's too much. Especially if he did it before. He did it before.
Repeat offender.
Maybe the kids can write letters or something
Draw
like that.
pictures. No, really.
Yeah, for real. But I'm not about to be taken off of work and going to visit. You know, we can work something out here and there. But as far as putting the kids, because when you committed whatever crime it was, and you knew that you were putting your wife and kids, you know, in danger or, you know, in jeopardy or whatever, because I don't know what the actual situation is, but you did it anyway, then you're going to have to suffer through that one alone.
Right.
Okay.
I like that.
Jennifer.
So if it was the first time, there's something different.
Right.
You know, I always give people a first time, but like I said, the second time, it's like, what are you showing the children when you're taking them to go view something like that? Like, what are you showing your daughters? What are you showing your sons? I don't know. I'd be a little skeptical taking the kids, you know, for a second time, you know.
Right.
But yeah, I'm kind of on the fence with that one, you know. But I do respect what you ladies are saying. I definitely respect that. But you're doing it a second time, so you're not learning from the first time.
And see, that's me. I probably would not take them because you knew exactly what you were doing when you did it, and you knew what the consequences was going to be before you did it because you went to prison before. So that means you didn't think about your wife. You didn't even think about your kids because you didn't think about if you got caught, you would not be able to see them. And then, see, I got this story actually from Phaedra Parks. Because remember, it happened on the Real Housewives of Atlanta, and she ended up taking her kids up there. But I remember when Candy and her husband Todd thought she was wrong for not taking her kids to see him. And remember, he was in another state, so she was gonna have to stop working and also take the kids. So it required a lot of travel, and how Todd and Candy thought that she was wrong for not taking the kids, or that she was depriving the kids from their father. But the thing is, did he deprive himself of not seeing his kids when you knew what you were doing?
There you go.
Yeah.
And you knew what the consequence was going to be because these are the same crimes that you did before.
Right.
So that was my thing. So I agreed with Phaedra when she said she wasn't going to take the kids because you knew what you were doing.
Right.
Go ahead, Marie.
You know, it's not really too much to say as far as I'm concerned. It wouldn't be no visits going on. I wouldn't do it. I couldn't do it because I would be upset. Now, then you got to think about the kids. So I'm going to take my kids to this prison.
Right.
And you got to think about all that. And then you probably would have some people thinking right now, well, what if what he was doing was for the family? What if what he was doing to, you know, but that's a silly argument. But I don't think I would waste my energy in packing up in an airplane to go see someone who knew they was out of pocket in the first place.
I don't think I would want to put my kids through that.
Well, that part
like,
too.
you know,
Prisons.
getting on an airplane or however, you know, the mode of transportation to get there, and it's for a prison visit.
A prison visit.
And then they're seeing their parent in a jumpsuit and, you know, having to go through security checks. And then it depends on how old the children are. Now, if the children are at an age to where they're able to make that type of decision, like 15, 16, 17, maybe. But if it's like little kids, oh no.
That's where you got to be careful what they're seeing and how they're processing
Yeah,
that.
that's traumatizing.
Absolutely. I think so too. And especially, how do you explain to your children that this is the same crime that daddy did before, before you were born?
Yeah.
And then now that you're here, he did the same crime again.
Right.
What if it was changed around? It was the mom and the dad had to take the kids down there to see the mom.
Well, I think that would be his choice because she's smart enough to know when you deliver those kids, that's a great sacrifice. So why would you want to even put yourself in that position again?
Right.
And that's tough.
That is. Marie said something that was interesting, though. What if he did it for the family and she knew it?
Because somebody's
Then
thinking that
what?
right now.
She was down with it.
Yeah.
So now you don't want to be a
So
part of it.
that
Oh,
might
like
be a
when she
little.
was a part of the crime?
Now, if she's down with it or whatever, that's
but she knew what he was doing and knew the consequences herself.
So maybe if he was a hustler, no swing.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
you
In
ain't
other
playing
words,
with
telling the
Yeah.
truth. Telling the truth, y'all.
and you were living good off of it.
Right.
You know?
Well,
And then I think
right,
that
right.
puts a different twist on it.
That's
Yeah,
a different
right.
twist.
That's a
That's
different
a
twist,
right.
because then
then
she
she's
probably take the kids-
obligated
Right.
to take
There you
them.
go.
because she
Yeah.
knew what the
Yeah.
consequences were going to be.
Right.
And it was
Right.
for her household and her
Right, and
clothes
she
and
was
her
benefiting.
bags.
That's a little
Right.
different.
Driving that Bentley, benefited from that
Right.
in jail for and
Got
went
the Gucci boots,
to
Gucci, you know what I'm saying?
the airport private
Right,
jet.
you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Got them mink lashes
Right.
going on and stuff. She
Right.
benefit.
Well,
Benefits.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, ladies. We got some single ladies in the room. We got some married ladies. But this is a question. Can men and women actually be platonic friends without sex and without being friends with benefits?
Yes.
Is that possible?
Yes.
She said
But-
yes. Do tell. Explain.
But you have to, the woman, because dudes, they gonna smash regardless.
Okay.
Dudes they don't care. But for the woman, I feel like it's our responsibility. If you're gonna have a male friend, you got to set those boundaries, and you have to stick to those boundaries. Like if you say, "Oh well, I'm in a relationship," you know, and it's you're sending mixed signals there. But I personally do not feel like you can choose the gender of your friends. If you have somebody that's in your corner that's riding for you, it doesn't make sense to say, well, because you're not a woman, we can't be friends, or whatever. But I do think that men and women can be friends, but definitely you got to have boundaries. You have to have boundaries, and you have to be strong enough to hold those boundaries and hold that person accountable and hold yourself accountable for sure.
Okay, Marie, you and we talked about this before.
Yes. And after talking to you, then I really kind of had to, I talked to you with open mind, because at first I was like, well, no. I had my definite opinion about it because of what I was socialized around as far as that statement, men and women can't be friends. See, you said what it should be. But the reality of that is everybody getting their benefits, but nobody's crossing the line because those words aren't being said. You're getting you're hanging around with your best friend guy in your booty shorts. And you're kicking it in the house all the time, and y'all hanging out, sharing all these feelings and emotions. He lay his head in your lap, but y'all just friends. He walk in the bathroom on him, but y'all just homies. That's bound.
But why would you be that close?
But
and
some people are
like
doing that and calling that friendship.
Right.
But then they're not communicating correctly because somebody gonna cross the line emotionally, and they're not gonna say anything.
Right.
So these are two people that are not in relationships with other people.
No, they are.
Everybody doing
Right?
whatever.
It don't
They're
matter.
doing whatever.
But
they
the
just
male
friends.
and female, they're just friends.
The title is just friendship.
Okay, but
Well, see,
are they in a relationship and then have a friend?
No.
I don't think it matters.
It doesn't
Yeah.
matter.
It matters to me because here's
male
the
and female
thing.
just friends.
If
But you have boundaries.
okay, but here's the thing. If I'm in a relationship with a guy that is friends with another girl that is not in a relationship, that's a problem.
That's a problem.
And there should be boundaries. No, that is a problem. That's definitely
That's
a problem.
Yeah.
But that's not what I'm talking about.
But what if they're just platonic friends?
What
And
if
what
they
is
were- what if
platonic
they were
look
They
like?
don't go out
before
to
you?
eat. Right.
Okay, well let me
Define platonic.
Define platonic.
Exactly.
Because you have to ask these things.
Right.
Define platonic,
and
because that's different for everybody.
What is 2018 platonic?
Because I see now these young teenagers, they call each other sisters and brothers, and they are this
And
world
see, that's
is
what I believe
so
that's what
messed
you
up.
call friends with benefits.
Yeah.
When I say
God,
platonic,
please.
y'all not
Sis.
dating. There's no
Sis.
feelings. There's no emotions.
You're
There is
sis.
nothing. You're just sis. There's nothing going on with the both of you at all.
Right.
You know
But
what
you
I'm saying?
can
And then
start
I
with a
believe that's
friend,
possible.
Like a friendship, like men that come into your life starts off as friends,
Right.
basically. And so here's the thing: if I'm constantly coming to you, I'm talking to you about my problems. If we're spending time together, then you guys start to build this
But not
other type
necessarily
of
even
relationship.
spending time. I think that's sometimes where those type of relationships can cross the line, because now you guys are spending time. You're going over to his house. Y'all watching TV, eating popcorn.
That's where it changes.
Y'all
Okay, so
Netflixing
yeah,
and
so
chilling.
You just mean like, hi, we may work together, and I say hi.
and the hours going by and you're over there. Because remember that video, there's a video, you guys, is going around on social media, and I believe that every teenage girl should watch this video, because it's a female. She goes over to her male friend's house, and it's after 10 o'clock. And she wants to talk about her relationship with another dude. And the guy's like, you know what time it is? Because there's certain, there's a time of the night.
Yeah, it's,
That's reserved for certain things. Right. So he was like, so, if you over here at 10:15,
You smashing.
right.
We having sex. She was like, but you my friend. No, it's 10 o'clock.
And it was after 10 o'clock. So there's certain things that go with the time. And I think young girls are missing that. So if you over there, you kicking it, it's 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock. He may even be
twilight
going
hours.
past the so-called friend stage, because while you're over there so late.
yes.
Right.
You know.
Look, Stasia was right, because I believe there is boundaries that definitely have to happen. Men, me and Lady Charmaine had a discussion, and I was like, you know what? Okay, men and women can be friends, but you can't be. I feel like this. I have a guy friend. His name is Mark Blackburn. I said your name.
Was it the
But
guy
I
that
don't
called
see.
earlier?
No,
Was
that's
not?
Michael. But I haven't. But no, Michael's not. That's different.
Michael's different.
We'll talk about that on another segment.
Oh.
Just like you need a segment, I need a segment on that one. But he's my friend. But I've known him for years. But we have never had an intimate moments. We would maybe go out, have lunch or whatever, and hook up on the phone every once in a while. But that would be it. It would never be us laying up around each other, doing like that. But he's my good friend. He knows me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So we have boundaries with each other, unspoken boundaries, but we knew our friendship was more important than taking that friendship to that next level and hurting each other because we know we didn't want each other.
Right.
That makes
Right.
sense? So it's
No,
like,
it
so
does.
So that's what people are doing. So that's why I questioned and wanted to challenge that friendship thing at first, because I was like, how? Because what I see are people, like I was saying, hanging out so long, waking up on the couch if you stayed there. That, I'm just keeping it real, because the law of attraction is real.
It's
And that's
real.
how God created us. And if you get to hang out with somebody, just like with girlfriends, if you hang out with your girlfriend so long, you're going to pick up little things, that little sayings, or maybe little ways you
Right.
hold, or something, because that's your girlfriend. So you're going to pick up little attributes of your friend. So if you're hanging out with a guy, what naturally happens? The attraction. He walk around with his shirt off.
He might not even know that he's starting to like you.
All that. But that's
So
the danger
that's
in it.
the exactly. That's the danger in the quote unquote platonic relationship right there.
So are
because there is a law of attraction.
Right.
They're going to be attracted to you for something.
But it's a
After
generational thing,
after
because
10.
Stasia's
Correct.
come from a whole different perspective.
Hi, you're live with Hot Topics with Lady Charmaine. What's your name and where are you calling from? Hello.
Hey, Charmaine, how you doing? This is Sal from Richmond.
Hey, Sal. How you doing?
Hi, Sal.
Oh, I'm blessed.
Tell
How are
Stasia,
you?
Oh, blessed like you.
Yes, you are. Yes, you are. The topic y'all talking about, right? It's like, I mean, it's deep, but what I'm getting is that a man also got to teach his daughter, that it ain't cool, right? Because I know when I was a young lad, right? When I was a youngster, it's like, man, I had friends, but it was always friends with benefits.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
I do.
And like the sister was talking about, you kick it with the other, a man kicking it with a woman. Yeah, y'all can be friends for a minute, but eventually some type of feelings, some type of attraction is going to take place. You spending the night, you spending the night or accidentally falling asleep and waking up. Now you become comfortable with that, and it leads on to something else that, I mean, me, myself, I try to tell my girls, they don't know exactly. Some of them, my older kids do, but I got a 13-year-old daughter that I try to grill her and grill her, and I got a 19-year-old daughter that I had already grilled, and they didn't know my lifestyle before I became saved.
Right.
But I didn't hide it from them as far as me telling them, don't fall in this. Don't fall in that trap. Don't let, a male or a young boy use you. I mean, if a young man like you, if he really like you, he's not going to press you into doing anything that's going to violate who you are as a young lady.
There you go.
So
Wow.
that's what
good.
I beat that into my girls' heads, because again, I know how I was
That's good
as a
though.
little kid. I know how I was. I was managed. I mean, I remember.
I was
y'all
managed.
conversation got me thinking and remembering when I was a kid jumping
Sal
in
went
girls'
hard.
windows. You know what I mean? I mean, but it wasn't just
It's
me.
real.
They was allowing it. You feel me? So,
Right.
but and I know now, because of the work I do gang intervention, and I have life skill classes with these little young men, 14, 13, 17-year-old little young men. And it's like, wow, the stuff I hear from them as far as from the girls that they deal with. I mean, these little girls nowadays is so out there. I mean, back when I was younger, you probably be 3 or 4 or 5 of them. Now it's like all of them. It's like
He said,
real
everybody.
wild, and that's like really like
He is
blow
so
my
right.
mind.
You are so right though.
Right.
Okay, my question is, I know you say you beat it into your girls. And I'm sure a lot of people probably have talked to their girls. Here's my question is, what if you have daughters that don't listen to you? And your daughter is that little freaky little girl that allowed dudes to jump through the window, the little girl that's jumping through her window to go meet with a guy. Because you have the girls that don't listen. And it's unfortunate, but if you have a lot of parents that tell the truth, well, you say, my daughter is that girl. You know what I mean? How do you talk to a little girl like that if you knew your daughter was that girl? That was the girl that she was the friends with benefits.
If I knew my daughter was that girl, she's gonna still be my daughter, and I'm gonna express that to her, because you know, regardless of what, I mean, they're going to choose their own path, regardless of what I put into them, regardless of what I try to feed them as far as the knowledge, as far as the information, as far as my experience. They're going to choose their own path. I mean, because we know God gave us free will, and we choose what we want to do. A lot of us don't follow what the Word of God says to the T, right? You know, as Christians, we go to the left at times, right? You know, so she's gonna still be my daughter, even if she's a little thought out there, right? You know? but all I'm gonna do is give her love regardless, and let her know what her worth is. I'm gonna still beat that worth in her, because eventually, I mean, if people would have gave up on me, you know, I didn't get saved. I was in my 30s. Before then, I was like off the hook. So if people would have gave up on me when I was, you know, in my teens, in my 20s, right? My early to mid 30s, I ain't get saved till I was in my mid 30s. So I look, and that's the patience I have with my kids, is to try to get them to understand that, hey, it don't matter. I'm gonna still be here for you regardless of what you're doing. I don't condone what you're doing. Right. You know, let's not get it twisted. I don't condone it, but I'm gonna still give you that love that Christ gives me, because I shouldn't be here. From all the stuff that I done did and all the stuff that I done did to people, I shouldn't be here. But Christ allowed that because he loved me, so I need to show that same love to my kids. Not just
okay, so he's preaching.
He
want to preach tonight.
This is what he does.
Yeah, Sal is a preacher. Okay, Sal, before you go, because
Sal
you're on the
down.
line.
He gets down.
And it's another man that's on the line. And earlier we was talking about, if a man take a woman out on a date, an expensive date, should he expect sex from this woman? Now, I know before, in BC, your BC life, before Christ, was that something that you expected? And if you feel that that is something that a man should expect, how do you teach that to your daughters?
I don't feel, I mean, even before then, right? Even before, when I was, you know, when I was younger and I was out there and I was doing what a young man do. I mean, I didn't expect sex or anything in return for my generosity, or how I am as a man, or how I was as a young man, or trying to become a man. You know, because again, there was times, me myself, that I would spend a night with someone and wouldn't touch them. Okay. You know, they'll be laying right next to me, butt naked, and I wouldn't touch them. You know, because again, it was more of a mind thing that I used to play with. You know, because again, I'll have her looking at herself like something wrong with her. Why he ain't touch me? Why he ain't do this? Why he ain't do that? And then that makes her want me even more. Exactly. But see, that was that mind game. That
you giving too much game on him.
The game is needed.
Yeah.
Because I played the same game.
That as well. It ain't just because a man showed you something that he expects something, because he's probably setting you up for the okie doke. You know, because that's what I used to do.
It's real.
Good.
It's real.
Then, you know, afterwards, they like on my line, like buzzing. You know, I know whatever I want, I'm going to get.
Well, Sal, I want to thank you. You put us up on some game.
Sal.
And
that
it's
was
always
good
when you call in. Thank you. That was a very, very, very good nugget. Appreciate you, Sal.
And that's why
it's all good, Charmaine. Hey, I love you. Keep doing what you're doing, my sister. And hey, pray for me as I pray for you.
I will, Sal. I love you too. Bye-bye.
And that's why I harp on the friendship issue, because some guys use that for the exact hustle he talking about.
Exactly. There you go.
That was a good. I never even thought about it like that.
That's the game that they will play. You just my friend.
See, that goes right into that.
You know,
Platonic
I
thing.
never said to you that I liked you.
He didn't even try to touch me, girl. And you'd be like, "Oh, girl, honey, I was in there, butt naked."
Exactly.
He didn't even touch me.
He didn't do nothing. I felt special.
Oh, yeah,
no, you
she's
stupid.
getting ready to give something up right.
And then the next time you're like, girl, I'm gonna give him the cookies, girl.
That's right.
Yeah, because he respected me. He respected me the first night.
Right.
I was respected.
Right. Oh, thank you, Sal, for putting us up on game. We got to share it with our daughters. Well, ladies, I want to thank you guys so much for coming on the show. That was so good. I got some more hot topic questions, but y'all, we're going to have to do a part 2 with the ladies.
Yes. And then we got to all come together.
Yes.
Yeah, that would be great.
And I think that was great because, we will be doing a live Hot Topic show in 2019. So you guys be looking out for that because we're going to have men, we're going to have women, and we're going to have an all-female panel, and we're also going to have an all-male panel coming up in 2019. So you guys make sure y'all looking out for that. Y'all want to hear from these men and hear what they have to say. Bring all your questions. Because we got them for you. And we might have these ladies up in there too. What y'all got to say? But it's the place, it's a forum for us to be open and honest, and we're going to have a ball with it. Okay? But in a good, respectful way as well. But again, I want to make sure that everybody knows. Make sure you go to my Hot Topics No Chaser page because we want to make sure that everybody knows about Hot Topics, Real Talk, No Chaser. So if you have a hot topic you want to talk about, make sure you drop it over in there so we can all discuss it. And also follow me on Instagram, and I am Lady Charmaine. And also YouTube, I am Lady Charmaine TV, and Facebook, Lady Charmaine Alive. And ladies, before we go, what are your Instagram handles? How can people follow y'all social media? Where y'all at?
I'm on the Clap It Up movement on Facebook, and Riri Loves You on Instagram. Follow me.
All right, Miss Jennifer Powell.
Oh, yeah, I'm on Aviance, but we are actually going to be giving the best friends. We're going to have another event coming up.
Oh.
It's going to be in March?
Well, yep, it's somewhere close in March. So you guys look for that because it's about to go down. Okay?
All right.
It's gonna be fun.
Yes.
I am on Instagram at SK Mobbs, MOBBS.
And I am old school, and I'm Bettye Calloway.
You know what? That's how you close a sentence.
And that's it. That's it. And that's all.
See, that's what you call it. That's
That's
wisdom
that
right
OG
now.
right there. Say something. I
That's
dare
Miss
you.
Bettye Calloway. And again, you guys, thank you guys so much for tuning into Hot Topics with Lady Charmaine. Do not forget to tune in tomorrow night because we have the all-male panel. They're going to be right here answering some of these same questions because I still want to hear. If you take me out on an expensive date, do you expect me to give you the cookies? The goodies. We're going to re-talk about that question tomorrow night. But again, you guys, thank you guys so much for tuning into Hot Topics with Lady Charmaine, and see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.